Hi, I'm Jane Wells with CEOs You Should Know, and you are?
I'm Meryl Kern, and I'm the founder and CEO of Liftique.
What is Liftique?
Liftique is a brand new triangular offering for women to look, live, and feel their best life.
What sorts of services do you provide?
Liftique offers the latest technology for minimally invasive procedures for the face, for the body, and also below the belt. Vaginal, pelvic health issues. We go under the skin and we go on top of the skin, and it can only be done by a plastic surgeon when you're going under the skin. And what we do is we do a controlled injury, and that controlled injury regenerates your collagen and elastin to plump and firm and tighten the skin.
So the range in prices, just so people, is it like,
$3,500 to average procedure price is probably about $7,500. We started in 2017. We started with about 4 million that year. We went on to 6 million the second year in 19. And in 2020, we hope to be around the $12 to $14 million mark.
Did you ever see yourself as a CEO, as an entrepreneur?
I have to say yes. Yes, I did. And I've been in the business world, and I was divorced very young at 37, so I had to reinvent myself. And I found a love for advertising and marketing. And I followed that path, and it took me to New York. I worked for one of the largest Omnicom agencies, BBDO, and then I went off and started my own boutique agency. And I just always had that in me, that drive, but I was married young. And my mother, I had a typical Jewish mother who says, you find your prince and let him take care of you. And deep down, that just wasn't enough for me. I was fortunate enough to come back to Los Angeles. I met my husband. In 2015, unfortunately, I was dealt a huge basket of lemons, and that was stage 3 breast cancer. And everything changed after that. I went through a double mastectomy. I went through 14 rounds of chemotherapy, 36 rounds of radiation. And at that end of treatment, I realized that recovery was just beginning. People think that when you're finished with treatment, you're great. Life is good. And that's so the opposite. It probably takes a good 2 years, if not more, for all that stuff to get out of your body. I was so depressed. I couldn't leave the house. I was lost. It was a struggle. So I started the Meryl Kern Survivorship Program within Cedars and Tower Oncology. And that was to help women post-cancer with programs, psychosocial programs to help women understand life, their new normal, and to move forward in a positive way. And that showed me, it allowed me to realize I need to reach a broader audience. I need to help more women. And I looked in the mirror and I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like my skin looked terrible. It was gray. My body didn't feel like my body. And I knew I didn't want to have another surgery. I talked to doctors and I talked to my husband. I said, we've got to do this. We've got to start a community for women, offerings for women. And so I pulled in other very smart surgeons and was able to say, okay, let's go.
What was the moment, if there was one, where you thought, this is going to work, this is going to happen?
I think when we decided to really push Liftique Blush.
That's the below the belt help?
Yes. Over 20 million women suffer from some sort of pelvic health disorder, whether it's stress incontinence, urge incontinence, vaginal atrophy, vaginal dryness. And we realized that there were so many women that wanted to look just a little bit better. They didn't want that transformation. They didn't want a tight pulled look. And I hear this all the time from women, I just want to be a better version of myself. So if you look good here And here, you want it to work down below. And when it's working down below, you want it to look good up here. I mean,
Right, because what's the point of this if that's not working?
I'm sorry, we're all
Yeah.
sexual beings, and I think women have a very hard time discussing that.
Yeah.
And we can, that's...
So when you started Liftique Blush, which is to help the vajayjay be a better version of itself.
Yeah, there you go. You do that so well.
Thank you. I'm very comfortable talking about that. When did you know, like, oh, boom? When did you know?
I knew when I started my foundation, and we call it the Blush Panel, and we had over 150 women show up, because I made sure that this was a place that women could come and be themselves and talk frankly and not feel guilty or ashamed. I work very hard, but I play hard too. And I want my staff, I empower my staff to be able to do the same thing, because it can't be all work all the time. You have to have a moment to just release everything.
Tell me a couple funny stories about being an entrepreneur, starting this business, being a cancer survivor.
I'm a prankster. I love playing jokes. Don't get me wrong, I want to get business done, but I'm like a 12-year-old kid. And so it's not uncommon for me to play practical jokes on my staff. One day, see, I think this is hilarious. I had lentil soup for lunch, and I decided that I would pour the rest of it out in the staff bathroom, in the toilet, and I kind of put some over on the seat. And it was I thought it was hilarious, and I waited for one of the staff members to walk in, and it was hilarious. I mean, I love seeing the reaction on other people's faces.
Did she scream?
She was just like, "You're not going to believe, oh my God." It was that kind of thing, and I just was like, "Yes, I got it." I'm like a child. I remember a story, and this is just about cancer and life, and I had to wear fake nipples. I didn't have nipples. And
I didn't know there was even a thing.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
well,
You can get
good
them in
to know.
different colors,
Good to know.
silicone, tattoos. They're just incredible assortment. And I had placed them on, and they last a few days, and I was swimming in the pool with my granddaughters. And all of a sudden, I hear my oldest granddaughter, Emma, go, "Grandma, what is this?" as she's waving a nipple in the air. And I'm just cracking up. And I'm very open with my grandkids. And they know what I've been through. And I'm just, "That's Emma, it's my nipple.
Grandma's nipple
Give it
floating in the
back.
pool.
Give it back." I have to just say this. We give back at Liftique. I offer procedures for women who faced adversity. I want to be able to do that. I want to donate proceeds to cancer research, and that's very, very important to me.
And to a woman going through cancer treatment or a breast cancer survivor right now, what's your best advice?
You're going to get through it. You're going to get through it. And you may cry, and you may struggle, and you may be angry, but you'll get through it. And you can do it with dignity and with some humor, and it will empower you. Allow yourself to find your purpose in why you are going through what you're going through, because it will push you along. And all that struggle and fear will give you the strength to do more. It will give you a broader look at your life, but you're going to get through it. You will get through it.
Meryl Kern, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for making me cry.
Yeah.
Wow.